Well, students, now let me start with allergy. Now, allergy, I have written here what? That hypersensitivity of immune system. Okay. Now, not all people suffer from allergy. So, all people do not suffer from allergy. Only some people suffer from allergy. Okay. So, in those people, the immune system is hypersensitive to some substances. So, immune system of those persons, they are very sensitive, hypersensitive to some specific substances. So, as a result, they suffer from a disease which is called allergy. Okay. Now, this allergy, it is an exaggerated reaction. That means hyperactive reaction. Okay, so allergy is what? It is an exaggerated reaction by the immune system in response to exposure to certain foreign substance. So those people, they are sensitive to certain specific substances or certain foreign substances. Okay, and I have already told you that most people, they do not show this reaction. Only some people are hypersensitive and they show the reaction which is called the allergy. Okay, now the substances that cause allergy, they are called allergens. So substances that cause allergy, they are called allergens. Okay, and these allergens, there are different kinds of allergens present, and these allergens, they are actually antigens. So allergens are what? They are antigens. Okay, so they are mild antigens. Okay, and the common allergens are dust, pollen grains, spores, mites, moles, feathers, fur, fur, venom, food, and even drugs. Okay, so different kinds of allergens are there which become hypersensitive to some person, not all person. And what are those allergens? Allergens are dust, pollen grains, spores, mites, moles, feathers, fur, venom, food, and some kind of drugs. Okay, so a person who is sensitive to these substances, so they will produce immediate immunological reaction. So those persons who are very sensitive to those particular allergens, they will immediately show immune response, hyperactive immune response. And in most cases, it is seen what? That in case of allergic person, it is the immunoglobulin E that are produced in large number. Okay, so already I have explained about the immunoglobulin E. So immunoglobulin E, it is present in small amount in our body, and this is related with allergy. So people who are allergic, they usually have large amount of immunoglobulin E. That means antibody E. Okay. Now what is the mechanism of allergy? So this is an allergen, you see, a particular allergen. Okay. So when an allergen, it enters into a body of a person who is hypersensitive. So when an allergen enters into the body of a person who is hypersensitive, then what will happen? After entry of the allergen, the mast cell. Now what is mast cell? Mast cell, it is a kind of cell of the connective tissue. So mast cell, it is a kind of it is a cell of the connective tissue. So what will happen? Antibody E will be produced. antibody E will be produced. This Y-shaped structure that I've drawn, this is antibody. So when an allergen will enter into the body for the first time, antibody E will be produced, and the antibody E will get attached to the mast cell. Now look at this one. This is the mast cell, and to this mast cell the antibody E is attached. Okay, so this attachment of the antibody to the mast cell, it causes a response in the body of that allergic person, which is called primary immune response. So it is called as the primary immune response. Okay, now if the same allergen it enters into the body of the person for the second time. So first time nothing will happen, simply primary immune response will be produced, antibody E will be produced, which will get attached to the mast cell. Okay, but for the second time, if the same allergen enters into the body of that person, then what happens? See, look at this mast cell, already antibody is attached to it, and the same allergen when it will get attached to the combined mast cell and the antibody, as a result the mast cell will release a substance, and this substance is called histamine. Okay, so this is the mast cell will burst and it will release a substance which is called histamine. Okay, and this histamine released, it will cause the dilation of the blood vessel. It will cause dilation of the blood vessel. More blood will flow to that particular area, and as a result of which there will be itching, there will be disturbances, there will be discomfort in the body of the person, and that is called what? Secondary immune response. Okay, so again I am repeating once again, you see how the mechanism of allergy takes place. So not all person will suffer from allergy, only some person will suffer from allergy. Those persons immune system is hypersensitive, overactive. Okay, so if a hypersensitive person comes in contact with a particular antigen, this allergen, with an allergen, so allergen, it is a mild antigen. Now this allergen, when it enters into the body of that person for the first time, then what will happen? It will trigger the body, it will stimulate the body to produce antibodies, that is immunoglobulin E. So this immunoglobulin E will get attached to the mast cell. So this is mast cell and the antibody E is attached to the mast cell. So this response that will be produced in the body of the person, it is called primary immune response. Okay, then after that, if the same allergen enters into the body of the person for the second time, then as a result already a mast cell is attached with the antibody, and the same allergen, when it enters into the body for the second time, it will get attached to this combined mast cell and the antibody cell. As a result, the mast cell will burst and it will produce a substance which is called histamine. So histamine will be released from the mast cell. So histamine released, and this histamine will cause the dilation of the blood vessel. More blood will flow to the affected area, and as a result of which there will be discomfort in the body of the person, and that is called what? Secondary immune response. So always remember, especially in most of the allergic person, histamine is released. So what are the symptoms? So what are the symptoms of allergy? So what are the symptoms of allergy? So general symptoms of allergy are inflammation of the mucous membrane. So the mucous membrane, especially our respiratory tract, the mucous membrane, it becomes inflamed. Then the person suffers from sneezing, running nose, then irritation of the throat and trachea, itching, skin rash, etc. So these are the different kinds of symptoms. So what are the symptoms? The general symptoms are inflammation of the mucous membrane, sneezing, running nose, then irritation of the throat and trachea, itching, skin rash, etc. Okay. Now, what are the different types of allergy? So there are different types of allergy, and what are they? They are hay fever, asthma, anaphylactic shock, then hives, which is called urticaria. So different kinds of allergy are present. Even sinusitis, this is also a kind of allergy. Okay. Now this hay fever, this is actually allergic rhinitis. It is also called allergic rhinitis. The nasal membrane, it becomes irritated, and as a result the person suffers from secretion of mucus. Then there is irritation of the eyes, he suffers from fever. So different symptoms arise due to hay fever, and usually this hay fever is caused because of the pollen grains. So pollen grains, it may cause hay fever in allergic person. The next comes asthma. Now you know about the asthma. Asthma is what? It is the constriction of the bronchioles of the lungs. So this asthma, it is also a kind of allergy. And there is what? Constriction of the bronchioles of the lungs. So as a result of which the person cannot breathe properly. So person cannot breathe properly. Why? Because the bronchioles, they become constricted. Air cannot pass properly into the lung, as well as air cannot come out of the lung. So the person cannot breathe comfortably in case of asthma. Now anaphylactic shock, so this is a very dangerous kind of allergy, and this kind of allergy, it is caused in those persons who are sensitive to some drugs, or if they get the bite of a bee. So from bee bites. So if a person who is hypersensitive to the substance produced by the bee, and as a result what happens, that person immediately may die. So that kind of allergy is called anaphylactic shock. Okay. Even person who are very sensitive to penicillin, so all people, they cannot take the penicillin drug. So some people who are allergic to penicillin, so they have to be very cautious, because if penicillin is injected, or if the penicillin is taken by that hypersensitive person, then he may die. Okay, so that kind of allergy is called anaphylactic shock. Okay, now hay fever, asthma, what you find that they are localized allergy. And these kind of allergy will take place in a particular part of man. For example, hay fever, it is related with the nasal region, the eye region, the head region of the person. Asthma, it is related with what? With the respiratory system, the trachea, the bronchioles, etc. But anaphylactic shock, this is a systemic kind of allergy. It is not localized, it is systemic. In the whole body, the allergens spread, and as a result, the person may die. Okay, so this much about the allergy. You study nicely about the allergy. And now what as because histamine is produced in allergy, so usually what kind of medicine is given to treat allergy? Antihistamine drugs are given, antihistamine medicines are given in order to treat allergy, so that histamine will not be released. Okay, so this is about the allergy. So even sometimes if the antihistamine drugs, they do not be used, or sometimes it may so happen that they may not work. So in those cases, even steroids are used to treat allergy, and this is, though they have some side effects, but it gives a temporary relief to the patient. Okay, so this is about allergy. Now let us study about the lymphoid organs. So lymphoid organs, what are lymphoid organs? Lymphoid organs, these are the organs that produce the lymphocytes. So lymphoid organs, these are the organs that produce the lymphocytes. Okay, so these are the organs that produce lymphocytes. In other words, the organs where the lymphocytes, they originate, they develop, they originate, mature, proliferate and differentiate. Those organs are called lymphoid organs. So once again I am repeating, what are lymphoid organs? Lymphoid organs are those organs of the body where the lymphocytes, they originate, they mature, they proliferate and they differentiate. Okay, now there are two types of lymphoid organs, and they are what? They are primary lymphoid organs and secondary lymphoid organs. Okay, now what are primary lymphoid organs? Primary lymphoid organs are the organs where the lymphocytes, they originate and they differentiate to antigen sensitive lymphocytes. I am repeating once again, what are primary lymphoid organs? Primary lymphoid organs are those organs where the lymphocytes originate and they differentiate to antigen sensitive lymphocytes. And these are what? These are the bone marrow and the thymus. So these are the bone marrow and the thymus. So remember, primary lymphoid organs are bone marrow and thymus. Okay, now about the bone marrow, this bone marrow, it is a highly vascular fatty tissue. It is a highly vascular. Vascular means what? Richly supplied with blood vessel. So this bone marrow, it is a highly vascular fatty tissue present inside the cavities of the long bones. So we have long bones in our body. So which part of our body have long bones? Our hands, our legs. They have what kind of bones? Long bones. And in those bones there are cavities present, and in those cavities the bone marrow is present. Okay. Now this bone marrow, it is a very important lymphoid organ. It is a main lymphoid organ, I will say, where all the blood cells are produced, including the lymphocytes. So bone marrow, very important lymphoid organ. Why? Because all the blood cells as well as the lymphocytes are produced. The next comes thymus. So thymus is what? Thymus is an endocrine gland, and it is a soft pink colored gland which is present just above our heart. So just above the heart, the thymus gland is present. And what is the peculiarity of this thymus gland is that it is large size. It will be large in case of a young child. And as this child will grow, will become mature, the thymus gland, it becomes smaller in size. So as the person matures, the thymus gland, it becomes smaller in size. That means it gradually atrophies, it becomes smaller in size. Now this thymus gland, it secretes a hormone. The name of the hormone is thymosin. Thymosin, thymosin hormone. And this thymosin hormone, it helps in the development and maturation of the T lymphocytes. Okay, so this thymosin hormone produced by the thymus, it helps in development and maturation of the T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes means what? What is T lymphocyte? T lymphocyte means, T means what? Thymus lymphocytes. Okay. Now let us study about the secondary lymphoid organs. Now what are secondary lymphoid organs? So secondary lymphoid organs are those lymphoid organs where they fully, or where the lymphocytes, they fully mature, they differentiate and they migrate in order to carry out the action against the antigens that enter inside the body. Okay, now primary lymphoid organs, in these organs the the lymphocytes will originate, they will mature, and they will get converted into antigen into such a stage so that it can fight with the antigen. Okay, so they get converted into antigen sensitive lymphocyte. But secondary lymphoid organs are those organs where the antigen sensitive lymphocyte, they will get transferred. So from the primary lymphoid organs, they will get transferred to the secondary lymphoid organs, where they will undergo action. They will fight with the antigens, with the pathogens or with the germs that enter inside our body. And the secondary lymphoid organs are lymph nodes, spleen, mucosa associated lymphoid tissue, and the tonsils. So these are the different kinds of secondary lymphoid organs that are present in our body. Okay, now lymph nodes. What do you mean by lymph nodes? So lymph nodes, these are small oval shaped, or they may be bean shaped structure that are present in our lymphatic system. So in our lymphatic system, you will find that there are some small oval bean shaped structures present, and those small oval bean shaped structures that are present in our lymphatic system constitutes the lymph nodes. Okay, and in the lymph nodes, WBCs are present, lymphocytes are present, plasma cells are present, as well as macrophages are present. So many cells are present. You see what lymphocytes, what cells are present? WBC is present, different kinds of WBC is present, lymphocytes are present, plasma cells present, as well as the macrophages present. Okay, and what they do, they fight with the antigen, they fight with the microorganism that enter inside our body. Now the next comes spleen. Now spleen is the largest lymphoid. Remember, spleen is the largest lymphoid organ of our body, and it lies just below our stomach, behind the stomach. It is present just at the back of the stomach. Okay, so it is the largest lymphoid organ of our body, and it is present just behind our stomach. Okay, and this spleen, it is a storehouse of RBCs. It is a storehouse of RBCs, and moreover, in the spleen, what happens? The T cells and the B cells that are present, they help the immune system, or they help the immune system to fight the infection. So the spleen, in the spleen, there are T lymphocytes, B lymphocytes are present, and what they do? They help to destroy the germs that enter inside our body. They help in fighting the infection.